What's going on, guys? I'm back with another one, and I just watched a movie called Expendables 4, starring Jason Statham, of course, Sylvester Stallone, of course, and Megan Fox. She's been in a lot of things that people don't really want her in lately. First of all, this movie alone has a few actors that can actually fight in real life. And so I'm going to have to call this actors that can really kick your ass. All right? Because throughout the Expendables franchise itself, there's been actors who can really kick your ass. All right? And I can more likely say that for this than Fast and the Furious. Even though Fast and Furious might have some that can really do it, but it's looking like Expendables is winning that fight. Okay? And the first one I have to mention is Michael Jai White. All right. This guy played in Spawn. He played in the Mike Tyson Story, or whatever it was called. All right. He played in Dark Knight. Not a huge role, but, people knew who he was. Okay, and I think he even said one very, wild statement to a lot of people, that he could beat up Bruce Lee. He's saying Bruce Lee was just a choreographer. He really didn't know how to fight like that. Especially not somebody of his stature and size. Very crazy statement. He had a lot of hate for that one. But, who knows? Who knows if his theory is right? Another one I have to mention, Wesley Snipes. All right, we've had Money Train. We've had the Blade trilogy. All right, we've had New Jack City. And Blade really showed, see, he plays Blade so well. I called him Blade. Wesley Snipes, he did a lot of his skill show in Blade, all right, and throughout Blade, which is why Blade was such a great trilogy itself, especially part 2. And yes, Wesley Snipes, we keep forgetting Wesley Snipes can really fight. He can really fight. There was actually a fantasy matchup between him and Michael Jai White, which they haven't done yet, obviously, but I would love to see those two go at it in the ring. All right, and even though I know there's a size difference, but still, hey, it is what it is. When you're in a fight, you're in a fight, right? Size ain't gonna matter. It's who's gonna win. Who's more willing to win that fight? Okay, and I would love to see that between those two actors. It's crazy. Okay, another actor, Bruce Lee, the legend. Okay, this guy was in Enter the Dragon. He was in Fist of Fury, all right? Game of Death, all right? Showcasing his skills in everything he did all the time. He's one of the greatest. Now, whether he could really fight someone like this in real life, I think he could. Who does all this great choreography without really knowing how to use it in real life, okay? He's not just a choreographer, he's also a martial artist. So I do not agree with Michael Jai White on what he said. But I still would like to see if he really could stand up for himself in real life. I know he can. It's not even a question. Okay? And we have Jet Li. All right. This man had the one. This man had Romeo Must Die. This man had Unleashed. Also a skilled fighter in real life. Okay, lately he hasn't been in a lot of movies. I think he's been a little sick. He's going through some illness right now. Hope he gets better soon. I want to see him in more stuff. But yes, this man has skills as well. He really showed it, the raw him, in the Once Upon a Time in China movies, which are great. If you haven't seen them, by the way, watch those films. They are spectacular. All right, outstanding movies. Okay, The next one I have to give props to is no other than Jean-Claude Van Damme. Okay, this guy was in movies like Bloodsport, Universal Soldier. Those are the only two I like to mention all the time. All right, I'm not saying it. I'm not gonna say that other one. Not gonna do it. It's embarrassing for me, so I'm not doing that one. But yes, this man also has skills. If you haven't forgot, this man was in a commercial not too long ago where he was showing that he could do splits on 2 trucks while riding down the street. Now, some people were saying that's CGI, that was special effects. I don't believe it. I think he really did that. All right, don't downplay the man. All right, don't downplay Van Damme. He can really do that. He can really do this. Okay? Disrespectful. Then we have Jason Statham, who was actually in the movie. No, duh. All right, this man had Transporter. This man had Crank. Okay, this man had Snatch. Snatch. That's a movie. Don't think otherwise. And they said he's a martial artist. He also has martial arts skills himself. I know him to have the gymnastics as well, which is quite an odd skill you wouldn't think he would have. But he's also a gymnast. He doesn't look like one. But hey, surprise, surprise. This man is a gymnast as well, okay? Then we got, last but not least, you're not going to believe, this is like a little bonus throw-in, Sasha Mitchell. You're probably saying, who the hell is Sasha Mitchell? You remember the show called Step by Step? Remember a character named Cody? Real dumb dude. Oh, yeah, man, yeah, you're totally. Well, that man really could fight. That dude could fight. They showed some episodes where they showed his skills, you know, and just to let you know that he's not full of it and it wasn't just acting, that man can really fight. He's had movies like Kickboxer 2, 3, and 4. There are other movies, but I think he was just a side character in those. Those 3 movies are the ones that he really starred in. Okay, and this guy is the real deal. Doesn't seem like it. And of course, he doesn't talk like that in real life. I hope he doesn't. But he is the real deal. You would never guess. You would never guess. Okay? It's crazy. It's crazy. And now we have all the guys from Expendables 4. We already know that Jason Statham has some real skill. Is there anybody else in this film that has some real skill? We're about to find out. Let's go. Expendables 4, for those who are not aware, if you're not aware of this movie by now, okay, as many times as they advertise this, as many times as they advertise every Expendable movie that comes out, they have to. They're under a contract to do it, to put it in your face like a stamp, to tattoo it in your eyes. Okay, so if you don't know about this, you're getting penalized, man. You're getting penalized. Don't play around with me. Don't play around with me, okay? Don't do it. All right? Expendables 4. Pretty much, these movies really don't come off of the last one. They just have the same characters. They're the Expendables. They you know what they do. Blah, 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 right? Well, this case, all right, we have a mission that's about to kick off. And you know, it's Christmas, and Sylvester Stallone's character, they're teaming back up. Christmas is dating another Expendable who just got in the team, played by Megan Fox. There's a whole little funny thing about that. All right. And then they get on their mission. Okay? And unfortunately, within that mission, well, hold on. Let's rewind. Before we even go past that mission, because Terry Crews is no longer in the team or this movie franchise, they replaced him with 50 Cent, obviously. Which is a little weird because 50 Cent's a rapper, not an action hero. But okay. Going forward. Anyways, something goes terribly wrong with the mission. Okay, and it's all blamed on Christmas, aka Jason Statham. So when they get back to the fort or the little headquarters, the head guy, like Andy Garcia, whatever, tells Christmas, hey man, you can't be a part of the team. You really screwed up. You can't do this. You can't do this anymore. We can't have you on the team. All right? You got to stay home. We're going to continue the mission, but you got to stay your butt at the house. All right? So now the team goes out without Christmas. But of course, Christmas can't let this go. He has to find a way to make this right. All right? And so now he has to figure out how can he be a part of this without being discovered that he's on this mission with these people that he's not supposed to be around. All right. And that's the premise to the movie. Okay. Positives. The action in this movie is incredibly flawless. It's crazy. I really want to give a lot of credit to Jason Statham. Okay. He did a great job. His character, Christmas alone, was just insane every time he hit the scene. You know, he's good with those knives. So that up and close action, that up and close fighting is a whole nother level. It's got gunplay has nothing to do with some up in your face action. Okay, you got to get. It takes a whole nother kind of person to get in someone's face and fight them hand-on-hand combat. Okay, shooting from afar, nothing. It's still skill to it, but no, it's not the same. It's not the same. So I definitely congratulate Christmas in this movie for what he has done. That name is so weird. But anyways, I congratulate Jason Statham's character for what he has done alone. And the other actors too. Megan Good actually did a great job with the little acrobatics and stuff. The flipping and all that. She did a great job on that, even though that might have been a stunt double. But still, she did a good job. Okay, that's a character. And so, you know, congrats to everyone who did what they were supposed to do and played their part in the action scenes. Okay, it made it what it was. Another positive. This has to be the funniest Expendables yet. They're really boosting it up on these jokes. Okay, from the beginning to the end, I laughed, and I know you're not supposed to laugh that much in an action movie, but I really did, man. The insults were always there. They insult each other in the other Expendables too, but this was. Their writers there's some good writers for a writer's strike. The writers are doing a knockout job with these jokes, man. Okay, they even played 50 Cent's song in one of these scenes. Okay, 50 Cent's song was played on this. I was like, okay, that's some cheap advertisement, but at the same time, that was hilarious. And there are other funny parts in this movie that had me laughing. That I'm going to talk about a little more in a couple of minutes, but at the same time, the comments and the sexual jokes, a little juvenile, but still, it did its job. It completed its mission of making me laugh. So I don't care what you think. All right, you can call me immature all you want. There's a joke with the Couture or whatever that dude's name is, and a new actress. That's it's gonna hit you pretty hard, okay? I didn't expect that either, but keep watching. Watch the movie. You know what I'm talking about, okay? Another positive. This had a strong 80s to 90s vibe. And yes, all the other Expendable movies do too, but for some reason, this really put the mark on old school, okay? One thing in particular, one detail in particular, they really went hard on this aspect of 80s to 90s movies with this one. Every time they killed or hurt a villain, you hear the You hear the sound effects, the screams and the grunts and the yells and the hurt. It was funny, but at the same time, it was so accurate and dead on. I'm like, man, I just jumped in a time machine and I went back and I'm in the 90s again, because this is the kind of action I like. All right. I want to hear I want to hear all that. That's what that's what I'm used to hearing. And they brought it back full on, strong, head on, in your face. Keep it up with that one. Last positive. I'll say this: less cameos is more. And what I mean by that is, in the last Expendables 3, wasn't really one of the greater ones. All right. And mind you, I haven't seen all of Expendables 1 yet. So I really need to get on that, yes. But I'll say this. Expendables 3 had a lot of cameos. But at the same time, it was boring. It was boring. There were so many cameos that it took away from the experience, because you had to focus on all those cameos. You had to focus on everybody. Everybody needed their screen time. And so you don't really get a lot of the story. You just get a lot of people just, hey, look at me. Oh, look at me. Hey, look at me. With this, there aren't as many cameos. I think this might be the less cameos they've had so far. But still, it was enough to do the job. And that helped you focus on what was going on. For the most part, I'll get into that in the negatives. But still, it helps you focus on the action a little more. Let's put it like that. And so that was a definite plus for the movie. Negatives. The plot was all over the place. Okay. I'm aware of what the plot is. I just told you what the plot was. But at the same time, when you can predict some things, it's not good. When you can already predict, once you see what happens or what's going on, you're like, okay, I know how these movies play out. I know how action movies play out. I'm not 12. So if you're not going to turn the tide and at least make it interesting, then don't do that. Don't do that. Please spice something else up in this plot. I'll get into that in a little bit, okay? But that's what I'm getting to right now. Because my predictions for certain characters did not happen. There were certain characters that were focused on that I kind of felt like something should have happened. And it didn't. It didn't happen. It went nowhere. I'm not going to name any names, but I was really disappointed with the direction in which this was going. I would think that they would use certain characters for, a specific thing. I'm trying to tread lightly, carefully around not spoiling anything. You know what I'm trying to do right now? Okay, so yes, I'm trying to do that. And it's hard. It's hard. What I really need you to step up your game when it comes to where you want to take this character. If you have this kind of character, and we know from the past what this character has done in other movies and and certain then it's a shoo-in to go in this direction. So take it in that direction. All right. Now, if you're just trying to really shock somebody, or they think it's going to happen, so that we're not going to give them that, we're going to give them this. Okay, if you do that, If you do that, then okay, really shock us. Really shock us. But if not, go in that other direction, please. That would have made the movie way more interesting as far as plot. You get me? As far as plot goes, it could have just been an incredible reveal or twist or something in that nature. But they did not do that. So it was kind of dead air within the characters that I'm speaking of. It was dead air for those certain characters. All right. My last negative. The ending was lackluster. Okay. Remember that little twist that they messed up already? All right. So they went another direction with the twist. Still not going to say what I'm talking about. And when that was revealed, it was kind of like, oh, I should have caught on to that. Okay, you kind of got me. Okay, so what are you going to do with this twist? And then it's the end of the movie, mind you. And they did the stupidest thing with that twist. They did a really dumb thing with it. And yes, it may have been a little funny, humorous, but I really think it was just a cheap way to get the movie over with. It was lazy. That was lazy writing. That was lazy writing. I hate when action movies do this. I hate when they do this. The end it reminds me of Equalizer, the first one. You get to the boss. You're like, oh, this is the boss scene, so we're gonna get this, right? No. Now, mind you, I was satisfied with one of the other scenes that Christmas had with some other villain. Not gonna say. That was a great fight. But when you get to the end of this, you really have to go all out. You were supposed to go all out, movie. What were you doing? That was horrible. That's unacceptable. I will not accept that as an ending to an action movie that I'm supposed to be entertained by. Okay? That was stupid. I'll just go ahead and say that was stupid. Bad choice, bad taste, and the move you wanted to make with that. I'm not letting that fly. So I got to give that a cool. Yes, I'm giving this an cool. You were doing so well with the action scenes. You had me pulled in. You made me laugh a lot of times, more than I did with the other Expendables. And that sometimes it's hard to do that with an action movie because then it takes away from the action. But this didn't. The action and the comedy went hand in hand. Then that ending just ruined everything. All right? So press that like button, share, and you better subscribe. I'm out.